New Year's Eve, December 31st, 7 p.m. ESPN, the Fiesta Bowl, the sixth ranked Nittany Lions coming off that destructive win of SMU. They are now be facing the Mountain West champions and the 3 seed Boise State Broncos down in Glendale, Arizona.
What's a verbo? I'm sorry, my bad. That was I did not mean to blurt that out so much, so hard. I'm sorry, my bad. You're doing so well setting that up, and I just blurted that out. I'm sorry.
All right, sir. First game on the docket is the game that you are most concerned with because I see a single digit number in front of Boise State, and I see James Franklin on the other side.
Wait, all right. I want to make sure. I want to make sure this is how it is. So Boise State, I know they're seeded 3 in this playoff. Is that their rank?
I don't think they care about rankings anymore. It's what you see today.
Okay. The reason why I ask it that way, is there might be a slight chance. It might be a scintilla of a chance.
Let me put it like this: they're not going to show the ranking. They are going to show the seed when this game is played.
So basically, they're going to do it like how they do the NCAA tournament, where they don't do rankings or where you were ranked. It's where you're seated, basically.
Yes.
Okay. All right. See, there might be a scintilla of hope for James Franklin's team. They may be able to win, and it may be against a team that is not ranked 11th and lower, or seeded in this case 11th or lower. And I was going to say that chance would be that's what they seeded, but where they're ranked. But if that's going to be taken off the table, I see an L. I want to believe that Penn State has turned the corner. I want to believe that they know that they are more talented 1 to 100 than Boise State is. That for the exception of Ashton Jeanty.
I was say, can you do 1 to 99? You said 1 to 100. I'm gonna say 1 to 99 because that last spot go to Boise State.
Well, okay. Well, I'm saying overall. Overall 1 to 100. Penn State has more talent that's going to go into the pros than Boise State is. Now, the best player on the field obviously would be Ashton Jeanty, and he laps the field with everybody else on the field. I understand that. There isn't a question in my mind about who's the best player in this game. All eyes are going to be on Mr. Jeanty, as it should be. Penn State should turn the corner. They should take the game they played last week against SMU and say that this is who we really are. And they should take that effort, especially defensively, because defensively, that's where it started. And
yeah, they turned Kevin Jennings over 3 times, including a pick 6.
Yeah, and I was saying it was two of them that started the game. So that's the energy that Penn State needs to bring to Glendale.
Now, question for you. We talked about how SMU had to travel up north, right?
Right.
Penn State got to go out west.
Yeah, Penn State has to travel out west. So there'll be 3 time zones off, obviously.
And they'll be in a dome, so there'll be no weather to impact.
So yeah, there'll be no weather advantage or disadvantage for either team, because Boise State does not come from a place where it's balmy.
No, we're talking about Idaho.
Right. But of course, this to me, I think this is going to be the easiest strategy point game of the 4 that we cover, and that is, can the Nittany Lions defense stop Ashton Jeanty? If they can, Penn State wins. If they can't, forget it. Boise State goes on the semifinals. I mean, to me, this is the simplest of the 4.
As 11-point favorites, if Ashton Jeanty and the Broncos defeat Penn State and James Franklin, What would be the noise in Happy Valley?
The Negro can win a big game. I mean, it's still going to be that. I mean, it's still going to be James Franklin still cannot win the big game. I mean, there's even evidence in having him being in one of these Big Six bowls, having wonderful performances. Remember a few years
But
back,
wait, but will it go deeper because that is Boise State?
again, you remember,
Mountain what? That's Mountain West. Like,
but remember, a few years back, they went to the Rose Bowl. They represented the Big Ten. They played USC, and they had this shootout where everything seemed to be great, but Penn State couldn't pull out the last second. You're going to be having a lot of those foibles come back, where it's like for James Franklin, he knows how to get his team to these games. He doesn't know
I
what to do
understand that.
when they play in these games,
I
how
understand
to
your
win.
point, but I'm asking because that is Boise State,
And and it could be the
Mountain West team.
and it could be the Houston Texans the way they played against the Ravens on Christmas night. It don't matter.
You don't think that by being Boise State adds a little more to it?
No,
You a Big Ten school losing to a Mountain West school.
no. Not, and you know reason why? Because Boise State now is not the little man anymore. They used to be. It's similar to UCF now. And you know this, you live in Florida. You know, UCF was a little engine that could, and it was to the point where they felt embarrassed because they had 2 straight years where they went undefeated, and they had a bowl game where they beat a blue blood in each year, and they had to resort to putting billboards up in Orlando saying the real national champs, University of Central Florida. Well, they don't have to do that now. They're now in the big leagues. Well, Boise State, they've been swinging for the fences for God knows. We swing for the fences for at least as long as you've been an adult. And so now,
Actually, before then,
yeah. So now,
I was in. I think I was in middle school when they did the whole Statue of Liberty on Oklahoma.
right. Yeah. So now the Mountain West is one of the big boys. They're not one of the big boys now. Otherwise, Boise State wouldn't have gotten a bye. They would have had to be like what Clemson would have to do, and they would have had to have played a road game to prove their worth. They didn't have to do that here. They got a bye, and now they get a chance to play in one of the Big Six bowls, the Big Six New Year's Day bowls. And I hate to say it this way, the stench of Boise State being a Mountain West team, well, that stench is now coming off, and it's coming off even further because in 3 years they will be part of the new Pacific 12.
Yeah. All right. That to begin the quarterfinals, and Penn State's 11-point favorite. The disrespect to Boise State is real.
Oh, the disrespect is real, but the fact that they are no longer the little engine that could, and they're now one of the big boys, that also is real.
And
But yeah,
then
but the disrespect in Vegas is real though.
that would be the
WC underdog and they're the higher seed. That sucks.
thing. If I'm remembering certain correct, I think this is the final game of 2024.